Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to be working on page 115 today. And we're focusing on using that number line and compose fractions greater than 1 to express them in various forms. So I'm going to show you a couple different ways to convert a mixed number to a fraction greater than 1 or improper fraction. So we're going to work just with a couple different number lines. I'm going to show you how to use a number line in order to solve, but I'm only going to do it on two problems, B and C. So here I'm going to kind of zoom in, and we have 4 and we have 2/5. I recommend you write small and save yourself some space here, because we are going to be doing a lot of work, but we're also going to be using a number line here. Okay. So the best thing that we can look at here is that we have 4 whole, and that represents 1 whole, 1 whole, 1 whole, and 1 whole. All right, so let's add it. Perfect. And we have 2/5 that are connected. Now, we have to think that these wholes represent a certain fraction below. And remember, this is just number sense here. This is a tool in which that can help us understand exactly what we're doing here, okay? So what does this mean when I have a whole number and what the fraction will be? Well, we're looking at this 5th here, and that is telling us that these whole numbers are actually 5/5. 5/5, 5/5, and 5/5, okay? Now, you can add all of these numerators up and get your improper fraction, or we can do this by multiplying, and that's what I'm going to do. Is we have 4 of these, and I'm going to multiply this by 5/5. So 4 times 5/5, that equals 20/5 plus 2/5, and that is 22/5. Okay? Awesome. Now, we need to check our answer, and to check our answer, this is just another way for us to solve finding a mixed number to an improper fraction, and I'm using this to just simplify things for you. So I want you to do this in order to check your answer, and it's going to take 5 seconds. So we have that mixed number here. Okay, we have that mixed number here, and all we're going to do is, what is 4 times 5? Oh, it's 20 plus 2. Well, that is 22, and our denominator is 5/5. So there's our answer, and that does match up with what we got when we decomposed. So it's a really easy way to check your answer, really fast too, and eventually we'll move away. We'll move away from solving this and move something a little bit closer to the standard way of solving mixed numbers and make it a little bit simple. But remember, these are just tools for us to use, pick up that number sense, and really understand what we're doing here. Okay. So like I promised, a number line. I promised a number line to you. So let's get that number line started. All right. Now, remember, if you need to pause this video at any time, if I'm going too quick, please rewind it, watch it again, see how I solved it, and so that you aren't confused, and just copying my work. Remember, make sure that you are figuring out what we are doing here instead of just copying. So, let's begin our number line. We always start at 0. Okay, and then our this one's kind of a mystery, right? What do we end up with? Well, let's look back at our mixed number. Let's look at our mixed number here, which is 4 2/5. And what is our whole number? Oh, it's 4, right? Perfect. So that means I am going to go 1 above 4, and I'm going to make it 5. Okay? So from here, we need to really be careful. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Perfect. So 1 whole, 2 whole, 3 whole, and 4 whole here. All right, awesome. I really did a good job at making sure those are even. And then once you get that started all the way from 5 whole, well, what do we put in these little parts here, these partitions? What are we going to cut these partitions into, these parts? Well, if you were saying, oh, Mr. Brown, we got fifths everywhere. We got fifths. We're going to cut them into fifths. We got fifths everywhere here. Well, you are totally right. We're going to cut these parts into fifths. So let's do that. And it's going to require 4 lines. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. 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 Perfect. Awesome. This is looking like a beautiful number line. Oh, I even forgot this one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, cool. Now what we can do is we're not going to put every single fraction. We're not going to do 1/5 and 2/5 and 3/5 and 4/5. It's just going to take forever. Okay. What we're going to focus on is just doing our whole numbers. So 5/5, 10/5, 15/5, 20/5, and finally 25/5. All right, this will help us at least organize our work and make connections with whole numbers make connections with improper fractions to whole numbers. All right, our last thing we're going to do is we definitely, see this right here? This is what we decomposed it into. And so we're going to make these jumps, and this is what we decompose it into. So we're going to make these jumps by 5/5 each time and 2/5. So let's do it. I'm going to start here, and I went 5/5, boom. I went another 5/5, boom. I went another 5/5, boom, to 15/5. One more 5/5, and then we're at 20/5, and our answer is 22/5. So we're just going to go boop, 2 more, and then we are done. Cool. So our answer can either be 22/5, or it can be 4 whole and 2/5. Whatever you want here. It's the same answer. 22/5 and 4 whole and 2/5. So same thing. Okay. So that was that's our first problem. It's a lot of work, definitely a lot of work. But remember, these are just tools for us to use, and eventually we will go into problems and strategies that are easy and that are simple to use. So let's go into our next problem. 5 whole and 3/8. All right, so here I am going to break this into whole numbers again. So 1 whole. 1 whole, 1 whole, 1 whole, and 1 whole. Okay, perfect. Now, if we really want to, we can start combining these wholes so that it doesn't look so crazy where we just got to do 1 whole. So I'm actually going to do something a little different this time around. I'm going to do 2 whole plus 2 whole plus 1 whole here. Okay, and I know that below it 8/8 equals a whole, so I know this is 16/8. And here I know it is 16/8 as well. And we got 8/8 right here. Do not forget to add, though, that 3/8. Perfect. Now, we can do this in many ways, and this is how I'm going to solve it today. Just do something a little different. I'm going to add our numerators together. So I know 16 plus 16. I know that makes 32/8. I know that makes 32/8. And I have 8/8. Ooh, that makes 48. And 3 more 8s to that, and that makes 43/8. That's a lot of addition, right? So it depends on how you want to solve and decompose these whole numbers. But I did it a little bit differently today just to show you something different where we can combine these whole numbers and make it 16/8, 16/8, 8/8, and 3/8. So, but let's check our answer though. Let's double check the easy way. I like it this way. It's fast and simple, and we can check our answer and get the same answer, make sure we're right. So 5 times 8 is what? 5 times 8 is 40, plus that 3, ooh, that makes 43 eighths. Are we right? Oh yeah, we're definitely right. Perfect. Cool. All right, so that was fun. That was a little interesting. It was different. So let's make our number line, and then we're done for today for these first 2 problems. So remember, we started at 0. We don't know what this is yet, so we got to go back to our mixed number and look. And, oh, yep, it's 5 3/8. What's our whole number? 5. So we are going to start with 6. Remember, you go 1 above that 5 whole, so we got 6 whole. Perfect. So I'm going to cut this into and make that 3, 4, and 5. 2 and 1. Cool. Awesome. Now, the hard part about this is that this is cut into eighths. So this is going to be very tiny lines. So we have to be really careful. That's why I just had you. Do the first 2 in number lines, because on D and E, it's going to be hard to make number lines with such limited space. So here, let's try to cut them into eighths. Remember, our denominators are eighths. So that means that we're going to cut these parts into eighths. Really tiny parts, partitions, oh no. So let's see if we can do it. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And no, I'm not even done yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Awesome. Perfect. Whew. So, I am not. All I'm going to do is just label this right here. This is 8 eighths. This is 16 eighths. This is 24 eighths. This is 32 eighths. This is 40 eighths. And this is 48 eighths. All right. That's all I'm going to do. Now, we did jump. So if you look right here, right, this is our decomposition right here, how we decompose this fraction. I did a little differently. I definitely went 16 eighths, 8 eighths, okay? So let's jump. Let's see what I did. So I started here, and I went 16 eighths. So I went boom. Oh, sorry, that's a little too far. Boom, right? And then I went another 16 eighths to 32 eighths, right? You can see that right here, 32 eighths. And then I added 8 eighths to that as well. So let's go 8 eighths. Boom. Right? And then we went to, which is right here, right? 40 eighths. And then I'm jumping up 3 eighths right there. So 1, 2, 3. Boop. So this can be 43 eighths, or it also can be 5 whole and 3 eighths. Okay? So it's up to you, but yeah, so that is our number line, and I just wanted you to practice those 2. Please finish D and E, no number line, just give me the improper fraction, okay? And remember, these are just tools. We're just practicing here. This is not forever. We're not going to be doing this every single time. So this is a longer homework assignment. Really tough work, but I learned a lot. It was great, and I loved breaking and decomposing these fractions, these mixed numbers. All right, have a good night, everybody.